Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be updating you on some more latest news. I've been reading a couple of reports, I've been on ESPN, I've been on Sky Sports, and a few more things as updated about the latest rumours that are going on, and this is including Arsenal. We are going to be discussing a few more stuff as well. Obviously Arsenal have just did beat Cologne 3-1 yesterday. Sanchez, I think, had scored his first goal this season for them. Arsenal, and believe it or not, Cologne had took 20,000 supporters to the Emirates Stadium. I heard Arsenal, generated a lot of money in the August window. They raised a lot of money, but they've got to have plans in January to replace the departures of their players, and including if Ozil goes, which could happen, if Sanchez goes, which could happen as well. But Arsenal now have got plans for January. Obviously, Wenger's got a 2-year deal, and they're eyeing replacements to get they're looking to reinvest in January to find replacements, especially if Ozil and Alexis Sanchez go. Now, for a familiar name's come up. I haven't read much about him. He's Juan Cuadrado, and now he's currently Juventus. He is a winner, and apparently Arsenal are actually supposedly interested in getting this player back to the Premier League. He is a winger. He does play for Juventus. His national team is Colombia. His style of play, he's very, very good on and off the ball. He's creative. He's got fantastic genuine pace. His dribbling skills are very, very good as well. During his time with Chelsea, I think he was only Chelsea 6 months. I think during that time, though, he'd won the Premier League with them and he'd achieved the League Cup, but he was only there 6 months. And now he's been at Juventus on loan. I think his main role used to be defensive midfielder, but now he's become as a winger now as this Juan Cuadrado. Now he's become a winner. He used to be defensive midfielder. Now with Juventus, he's currently on loan there. Now he is won, I think, 2 titles as well, and he's won the Coppa Ital a few times as well, the player. And I'm going to have a look at some of his stats, because he does look a promising young player, a promising player. He is age 26. He's a winger. 2008-9, Independiente Medellin. Went to Udinese 3 years. Lisa on loan. Florentina. This is where he actually risen up the ranks fantastically well. Florentina. Chelsea, he only made 13 appearances, and since Chelsea he'd only been there 6 months, and he's now been at Juventus for a couple of years on loan as the player, and he's earned over 67 caps for Colombia as this player. So he does look a pretty interesting player, does this player, and apparently Arsenal are interested in getting the player who has been in the Premier League before. I haven't watched much of him, to be quite honest with you. I can't really say, because I haven't watched much of the player, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. There. I don't need to go in all these details, but he's known for his direct, his offensive style of play along the right flank. So he's very, very good on the flank, and this is what Arsene Wenger would want if Sanchez were to go, and also put a replacement in there for Sanchez, and for Arsene Wenger's perspective, he'd operate well on that flank, and he's capable of both scoring goals as well as creating goals. So he's a very, very good player who can provide assists as well, good at creating opportunities for other teammates. He's often utilised his speed, his technical skills to beat opponents in one-on-one situations, create space and time for him to shoot on goal or deliver crosses to strikers in the air, reduce his playing style ability to make attacking runs down the ring, and he has been labelled a traditional wide midfielder. So early on his career he was a defensive midfielder, and now he's operating now on the flank where he performs better. He can cross balls, apparently. He can set teammates up, he can link up the play as well. So he does look a very promising player, creative, compassive, tenacious. He's got genuine pace, very agile as well. Yeah, looks a very, very decent player, does this player, and apparently Arsenal now, he did say on ESPN they are actually interested in signing the player, and it's just telling you how many appearances he's made all in all, the player. So yeah, I've got to be honest, he looks a pretty interesting player, does this player. But for Juventus this season so far, he's made 3 starts. Last season on his loan, 29. Season before, 28. In the league, I don't think he scored for Chelsea in the league. It says here he didn't score for Chelsea. He scored 1 goal this season so far in Serie A. 29 appearances last season, only scored 2 for Juventus the season before. 2008. 28 appearances and 4 goals in 2015-16. So he's been at the club now. Is it this 3 year for something like that? I think he's entering his 4th year now with Juventus. So Arsenal anyway looking to they're very, very interested in getting the player according to the ESPN. As I was saying as well about the Lemar situation, Arsenal obviously did give up on the pursuit of Lemar. Arsenal did give up on the pursuit of Lemar. Arsenal had been in talks for the entirety of the August window. You know, they'd been, very, very interested in the August window. Arsenal did even approach representatives. Lemar clarified he wanted to go. In the process, I think Arsenal had 2 bids turned down for Lemar from Monaco, because Monaco had raised a lot of money. They didn't want to lose any more of the players, and even an Italian journalist had come out saying he would make the move to the Emirates, and then the vice president of Monaco had come out and basically saying he's going to stay at Monaco. Well, Lemar's got a 3-year deal. He's got a 3-year deal left on his contract with Monaco. He plays very, very well for France. He can play in the middle. He can play on the left, and was a main player. He's a very, very good player last season. Monaco have lost the majority of their young age talented players in one transfer window, and Lemar could still make the move in January. Monaco at one point for Arsenal, I wanted over £70 million. Arsenal were not willing to pay that, and then Arsene Wenger had classified it as dead. And then basically who come into the equation? Man United had come into the equation. Liverpool had come into the equation. They had 2 bids in the process rejected. They were preparing to put another 3rd bid in the process for Lemar, but it didn't materialise. Arsenal come with a £92 million bid, got accepted, but the press were reporting that Lemar didn't want to make the move to Arsenal and he wanted to make the move to Liverpool instead. This is just basically what we're being reported. It could be allegedly, I don't know, it's just allegedly because I don't know if it's true. But Arsenal may still revive the interest in Lemar in January, because he was their main priority target. We know they got, now Arsenal, got Lacazette in there, who's performing well, very, very good that he was for Lyon. And that's the only player they bought in the window, so they're going to have plans in this January transfer window. But if they want Cuadrado, he could be now. They may not now be as interested come January in Lemar if they want Juan Cuadrado from Juventus. Instead, this is basically just what the media are reporting. I'm just giving my own opinions across on what the press are reporting about this Cuadrado player. I don't think I've even heard of the player much. That's why I said he's unfamiliar, because I don't think I've ever heard of him. I've just seen here, he's been underneath, he's been at Leeds on loan, he's been at Fiorentina, he's been at Chelsea, won a couple of honours with them, and he's so far Juventus is playing in his gentle role, and he's performing very, very well, and he's won quite a few honours with them during his time so far with Juventus. But he plays on the flanks, he's got good genuine pace, he's good on and off the ball, he can cross and everything. So he does look a very, very promising player. And obviously the press are still reporting that apparently Ozil could still leave Arsenal now. It did say in the Metro, I think it was the other day, that Jose Mourinho would be prepared to have talks regarding the situation over Mesut Ozil. He is coming to an end of his deal, and what the press are reporting, there's been no proper talks or no further discussions since February. So what he's saying is, since February, there's been no discussions between Arsenal and Ozil to sign him an extension on his current contract. But Arsene Wenger's basically come out, has said he's still convinced Ozil will sign a new deal or whatever. He's still convinced he will sign a new deal. He did admit that talks had slowed down, but he did classify that the talks have not fully stopped between Arsenal and the player of signing him in a new contract. But he did admit talks that have slowed down. Apparently, Man United could be in pole position to offer him a new deal with United, because he would become a free transfer next summer. But in January, he will be able to have discussions with other clubs. Will the player? Because he is coming to an end of his deal, his Mesut Ozil, as I do keep saying, guys, very good in the air, very skillful, very precise on the ball. He did make 36 appearances last season. I think he scored 8 goals, and so far this season I think he's made 2 or 3 appearances for the club. But he was in Bundesliga for 5 years. Was Mesut Ozil? He was in Bundesliga for 5 years. Made so many appearances with Schalke, Werder Bremen, and then went to Real Madrid he actually then went to Real Madrid for 3 years, and he actually worked under Jose Mourinho for them 3 years. So I think apparently, as I did say, I showed you a video yesterday, Ozil is keen on me uniting with Jose Mourinho after they were fantastic together at Real Madrid. He won the La Liga there, Copa del Rey. He's a very, very good player that can provide assists as well as score goals, as it's proven. He scored 19 goals for Real Madrid, I think. 47 appearances, I think he made over a century of appearances. I think that may have just been in the La Liga, though. Ozil, and he has, since his time at Arsenal, Arsenal had paid 45 million, a record fee, a highest fee played for a German player, and he's won 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons with Arsenal. I think he has been demanding a higher wage, a higher salary in his package as Ozil as well, but he has been at Arsenal now. I think it's now 4 years. I think he does basically want to make the move. Arsenal, haven't got Champions League football. First time they haven't had the Champions League football in 2 decades. So yeah, he could still potentially make the move. Apparently Man United are very, very interested. Towards the end of the window, it did report Barca were interested in Ozil. Borussia Dortmund had a slight interest in Ozil as well. So Arsene what he's doing is he thinks these players do depart. He's eyeing out replacements, and this is including Alexis Sanchez as well. As I do keep mentioning to you guys, about Alexis Sanchez. Sanchez, obviously, he's coming to an end of his deal. He's refusing to sign a new deal with the club. He did score yesterday against Cologne. I think that's his first goal this season for Sanchez. I think he had about 24 goals in the Premier League last season. He has won 3 FA Cups 4 seasons with Arsenal. And City have been emerging as front runners, for the entirety of the August window. City were heavily linked with Alexis Sanchez, but in the process didn't materialise. City were only prepared to do a cash-only deal. City had a 50 million bid rejected. In the process, allegedly, City had a 60 million bid accepted by Arsenal, but obviously they were looking to replace Alexis Sanchez, but it come to a conclusion as Arsenal didn't get that replacement for the player, and he was keen on reuniting with Pep Guardiola after they were fantastic together at Barcelona with Pep Guardiola and Sanchez, and Arsenal bought him from underneath for £35 million back in 2014. He turned down a £300,000 a week offer from Arsenal. The player was initially demanding that he wanted £400,000 a week. Did Alex Sanchez? The other teams being interested, the Paris Saint-Germain being interested, being Bayern Munich being interested in the player. Man United did have a slight interest in the player. He does play on the left. He can play in other positions, so his versatility is very good. He played on the right flank with Barcelona. Plays on the left with Arsenal, so he's very, very good in that number 7 position. But he could go. Sanchez, he actually could go in January for just £20 million, or he could leave next summer. Could Sanchez on a 3-year transfer? He could leave on a 3 transfer next summer. Could Alexis Sanchez? But I think Arsene Wenger's being ruthless. He's being ruthless regarding the player anywhere. He hasn't been keen to sanction the player off. He hasn't been very, very keen to sanction the player off. But I think if Arsenal can get that replacement, like the Juan Cuadrado from Juventus apparently interested in, or if they can get Le Mans in the process, that means Arsene Wenger and Arsenal board will soften their stance regarding the player and will let him make the move. They'll raise the funds. Well, they've already raised a lot of funds, but raise the funds for Sanchez and use that money to probably get another player on the board. But I'd say he could only go for £20 million in January. But if he was to go 3 next summer, if he does stay till next summer, he will go on a free deal, free transfer. But anyway, Arsenal have invested a lot of money in August for the departure of their players. But I did say with the Sanchez and the Sterling, that was supposed to be happening, but come to a conclusion, City were reluctant and resisted to offload Raheem Sterling as part of the deal for Alexis Sanchez. And Arsenal would have gone along with that. They would have gone along with the deal for Aguero as well, but that didn't currently materialise. And Aguero's on very, very good form for Manchester City, so you can see why Pep Guardiola doesn't want to sell his main priority players in his squad. Sterling's in very, very good form for City at the moment, and City, spent a lot of money in the window, so that's what you got to take into consideration. And but apparently, as I did say, Arsenal are interested in Juan Cuadrado. So I'm going to get latest news now about line on Messi, who I haven't mentioned recently. Line on Messi apparently now the director, the president of Barcelona has clarified, basically, he's confirmed that he knows the player was going to stay. He did confirm this, but what he's basically suggested now is that the father of Messi has signed him a renewal on his contract. Back in July, Lionel Messi had agreed a new deal until 2021 with Barcelona. But the player's perspective, he's actually still yet to sign he's still yet to sign that extension on his contract. But apparently the father's done it, and apparently, according to the director, the president of Barcelona, he is under the new terms of his contract now. Is Lionel Messi. They've got Iniesta there, who's coming to an end of his contract as well, and Barcelona manager knows how much of an important iconic figure player Iniesta is. But with a long-going speculation, in the summer, regarding Messi, regarding his future, because apparently City were interested in getting the player, and Messi, it was actually regarding his future. He was unhappy, to see his fantastic teammate Neymar to leave Barcelona. So there were chances that I could have potentially left Barcelona. He had a 275 million release clause. It did confirm that City had actually approached his representative to have discussions, or maybe getting next summer. It did report last summer that City they're being interested in a line on Messi But yeah, as I did say, Messi, is hitting form this season already. He's already scored 8 goals this season. He scored twice against Juventus in the Champions League. Very good, prolific goal scorer. He scored 39 goals at 37 goals last season for Barcelona as well. But just a very, very good player. He's been at the club now 13 years. He's been at Barcelona his life, 13 years at Barcelona, won 29 trophies with the club. He's got 5 Ballon d'Ors with the club. He's won 4 European golden shoes, and for club and country, he has scored over 500 goals. All-time top goal scorer for Argentina. Also, in the La Liga now, I think, it's a record, isn't it? In La Liga, he has scored about 354 goals. This is just in La Liga, in about 385 appearances in La Liga. All in all, though, he has scored he scored a lot of goals in all competitions for Barcelona. Yeah, and he's won so much with Barcelona as Lionel Messi, prolific, good in. Yeah, you could still vote him as one of the best players in the world, and he's still got quite a few years ahead of him as well as the player, and just very, very good for Argentina as well as Lionel Messi. But yeah, I don't think the player has yet still signed that extension, but apparently his father has already done it for him. But could he still leave? Could he maybe leave? Could he leave next summer? Possibly. I don't know. He could still leave maybe another time. Won't be now, obviously, but he could still leave maybe next summer, maybe in January. I don't know, guys. But yeah, we'll see what happens about that. And I think that's really everything I've updated you. I've updated you about the Griezmann situation, as I do keep updating you on that. With the Griezmann situation, as I do keep reporting on that, yes, Man United have set 100 million aside for Antoine Griezmann for next summer, or maybe go for in January. The player that estimated 6 out of 10 that he was actually going to be coming to Manchester United in January, but obviously due to the transfer ban that didn't currently materialise. He's up the ranks for Sociedad. He made about 180 appearances, did Griezmann for Sociedad. I think he scored in the process 53 goals in over 2 century appearances for the club, won the title of them, and in Euro 2016, he was very, very good for France as well as Griezmann. Since he's been at Atletico Madrid, in the La Liga, I think he's made over about 112 appearances, bagged about 60 goals, and he did score 28 goals last season, and he's been voted La Liga best player, La Liga player of the month. He's won, he's got French player of the year, best player of the tournament. Just a very, very good player all round, and we need someone who's going to fill that number 7 spot, and Griezmann would be very, very ideal, because we've had Ronaldo there, we've had class players there in that number 7 row. Ronaldo, best Brian Robson, Cantona. We've had so many players in that position. Beckham, Di Maria, Depay. We've had loads. But from a commercial point of view, wouldn't want to keep it vacant. As I did say, Griezmann back in June had signed a new deal, and and he did, and I think he's had discussions with Diego Simeone. This could be his last season with Atletico Madrid, Antoine Griezmann's, and yeah, it'd be a very, very good player for us, and he's a very, very good prolific goal scorer. He's Antoine Griezmann. So, and he did say after the Swansea game he'd actually regretted that he did not make the move to Manchester United. So we will see what happens to Man United. Convinced they can get a deal wrapped up for him next summer in the process. So anyway, guys, thanks for your time coming today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel, subscribe to the channel, tell me what you think to this Arsenal being interesting Cuadrado from Juventus. Drop your comments, like, explore, as I say. If you do consider, hit that like button if you want, or press that subscribe button. And take it easy, guys. I'll see you all later. Bye.